Welcome to Sportsnet TV. I'm Roberto here with Jim McClean. Jim, we've been just talking about this little small movement, the takeaway for beginners, but I want to move into the advanced players really looking to break the barrier. As far as the initial move, you talked about just isolating shoulders and arms in the takeaway. Right. With your better players, what do you have to do? Is that the initial engagement, or do you like everything moving? Or
well,
talk about that.
The first move in the golf swing actually is forward. So you rebound off a small micro move, is what we call it at the golf school. A little move forward, and then you move off that. So we call it the micro move, the mini move, and the big move. So there are different ways that people do the micro move. Some of them have a forward press with their hands, like Ernie Els or Sergio Garcia, and a lot of other players. They'll forward press with their hands. And other players will move a little bit slightly. They'll move their center of mass just slightly. It's very hard to see in a lot of players. Yeah. And then other players are a little more obvious, where they'll kick their knee. And you know, Matthew Wolff does a really big one, you know, bigger than anyone I've ever seen, actually. But I did quite a bit with Sam Snead going back when he was older. I did a couple shows on the Golf Channel with Sam. And Sam always had the feet moving, and then he'd move his knee, and then he'd rebound off that. Gary Player did that. And you know, Matthew Wolff's doing a bigger version of that. So it's a good thing to get you started and to make a smooth takeaway.
So a nice little micro move.
Yeah.
Forward, little shift.
Yeah.
Whether it's a hands, lower body. When everything does go back. Yeah. Is it all going? Well, what do you like to see? When it actually makes sense?
I love a one-piece takeaway. So all the great players that I've been involved with and the teachers talk about a one-piece move off the golf ball. So after that little micro move, the club, your hands, the shoulders, start the golf club away against some resistance right here. But as you go away, then the hips are going to turn away. The knee obviously is going to have movement to it, and it'll straighten to a degree. But I don't like to see people lock the right leg where the right hip gets up that high. So I like to have some little resistance in here, where I'm still making a good turn, so I turn my hips enough that I can make at least a 90-degree shoulder turn. That would be a simple way to put it, I guess. But that gets me loaded up here at the top, where I'm ready to start the lower body on my downswing. So I always feel like if you divide the body in half, it's more upper body on the backswing and lower body on the downswing.
That's right. And do you feel like, and for the upper body, the arms, the left arm, going across the chest and up, and then it impacts staying there or working its way back to where it started?
Very good. You know, this is a main pressure point in the golf swing, the upper left arm against the chest. So when I talk with Bryce and Deschambault, you know, we can kind of relate to that golf machine stuff. But that's something that people have done forever. Jimmy Ballard always talked about this. So you connect that left arm, and as you go away, as the club starts getting to this halfway point, the wrists, which are not tight at the address, naturally start to bend. So we call that random loading in here. And as you go up, the left arm does cross the chest and elevates. And so when you start down, you don't want to start down by just doing this. That's going to go over the top. Your arms have to lower down here. So we call position 5 in the golf swing to impact. And then as you go through, the arms blast off. But I still don't like to see this, although Jordan Spieth's done pretty good doing that. So you don't normally see that more block release. You're not going to be able to hit as far doing that as a full release. But I still like to feel that a little bit of connection to the very top part of the arm before it gets this spacing.
So in essence, arm goes up and across, works its way back down and back. But does it come back to the same relative position that it was relative to the chest?
No.
Or is it still a little across?
No, the left arm's got to swing. The left arm's got to get forward in the swing. So we did that little starting drill, which is kind of good because people aren't aware. They kind of keep the left arm back, and when it's here, then they have to toss the club to make contact, and that's how they learn to play the game. But we've got to the left arm has got to get forward in the golf swing. So it has to get forward.
So even more forward than it was at address.
Absolutely. That's a fundamental. And you know, in the 8-step swing, and this latest book I just wrote, the Build Your Swing book, we have the fundamentals that I've learned over all these years of teaching. That's one of them. The left arm from address to impact is a big difference. It's much more forward.
Well, this is enlightening for our audience and enlightening for me, obviously. Really appreciate having Jim McClean share his knowledge and wisdoms.
Thanks, Roberto.
Both for beginners and advanced players out here.
Great to be with you.